Good Thursday evening, friends. Chief Meteorologist Tim Pandajis here with you. And as always, we greatly appreciate you tuning in here on 13 News Now Plus for a special stream that we're going to be mostly talking about our threat for some rain and storms to wrap up the work week tomorrow. But also we're going to get into the forecast that looks really nice for this upcoming weekend, and then an unsettled pattern that returns for a good chunk of next week as well. Let's start in the short term. Later tonight and into tomorrow, we'll start to see clouds on the increase, and eventually our rain chances go up. Now, a cold front will be progressing from the north and west, and that'll open up our rain opportunity and storm opportunity between 1 p.m., I think farther west along I-95, to around 8 p.m. as you get closer to the coast. Right now, the system looks to be pretty progressive, and it'll be in and out of here, so we're not looking at it slowing down, stalling out, that we've seen occur with other systems. So it should be out of here, and once it clears, our winds shift out of the north and west. Drier, cooler air filters on in really fast. And by Saturday morning, we're looking at 40s and lots of sunshine for the entirety of the weekend. So I really want to urge you to stay close to the forecast between now and tomorrow evening, because it is a little bit of a fluid forecast. It's all going to be dependent on how much sunshine we see in the cloud deck tomorrow. So if late morning, early afternoon, we start to see more and more breaks of sun, what that'll do is start to destabilize the atmosphere, and this instability is what the storms will feed off of. So as we get that trigger, the front to build on in from the northwest, if we have a continuously unstable air mass in place, that'll increase our likelihood at some of the storms being strong to even potentially severe. So it's a conditional threat for tomorrow, dependent on how much sunshine we see. But let's go through and set the stage here. So we've got temperatures that were today very warm once again, a little bit above normal, not the warmest we've seen so far this season, but you also have to tack on the humidity. Dew points were once again on the climb today. They're sitting right now at 62. That's at the airport. Earlier today, they were peaking pretty much in the mid to upper 60s. Air temperature right now is 74. We've got the south-southeast wind that's just driving in that humidity. That will remain in place through tonight, through tomorrow, but then it goes right off a cliff as we get into the day on Saturday. Now, what's happening? The cold front's getting here, and that's going to switch up our air mass from a mild, muggy one to a dry and comfortable one for the entirety of the upcoming weekend. And unfortunately, you look at next week, and it does start to go back up as our rain chances will increase, and eventually temperatures will begin to go up as well. Let's start things off here on live radar, okay? In our immediate area, we don't have anything to worry about. We are quiet out there. Any plans for the next couple of hours before you settle on down for the evening and the overnight should remain quiet. There's plenty of activity, though, as we get off to the west here, close to the I-81 corridor in West Virginia. We've got some severe thunderstorm warnings. We had a few out by South Boston earlier, but they're building into an air mass now that the sun has gone down that's beginning to stabilize again. So they'll start to fall apart likely as they reach I-85 and I-95 and just be some remnant showers. Now, as you get down towards Charlotte, Greensboro area, look at this huge severe thunderstorm warning that's out there. This one is up for very gusty winds. Usually when you see a warning polygon be that big, it's usually because of the main hazard being gusty, straight-line, damaging winds, and that looks to be the case here for a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, that's outside of our area. This is south of Winston-Salem and Greensboro and to the northeast of Charlotte. But there's plenty of unsettled weather here all along our storm system that's beginning to take shape. You can kind of see the overall swirl in the atmosphere, and that low pressure center, it's actually a dual area of low pressure that's centered out near St. Louis. And to the south of it, where it's warm and muggy, we're seeing the severe threat. And there are 4 separate severe thunderstorm watch boxes that you can see there, stretching all the way from central North Carolina into northern portions of South Carolina, much of Tennessee, northern portions of Alabama, and even parts of Kentucky, and stretching into far western portions of Virginia as well. And these are up until later on this evening, and then the atmosphere should kind of cool off, stabilize, and then reinitiate development of thunderstorms for tomorrow. So look at the bigger picture here. You saw the watch boxes, and now you've got all the warning polygons here. So all of those watches are certainly verifying at this hour, with over a dozen active severe thunderstorm warnings. So you saw it was a watch, a severe thunderstorm watch. We're not seeing the big tornado threat here, which is the good thing. And also, these severe thunderstorms are mainly hazard for strong winds, but also an unusual setup for some large hail. With cool air aloft, we're seeing the possibility of some large hail in areas that don't normally see it closer to the mountains there along the Appalachians. So that's going to be interesting to watch the next few hours. Again, here locally, we're not tracking anything in our immediate area. I do want to go through the Storm Prediction Center's outlook, though, as we get into tomorrow. We call this the SPC Day 2 Outlook. They put out 1, 2, 3-day outlooks, and actually now they've extended out to 8 days. But really give you the hazard outline in the day 1 and day 2. So we'll go through that. So this is Friday's outlook tomorrow. This spans from 7 a.m. Friday through 7 a.m. Saturday. And it is out of a 5-tiered scale, right? So 5 being the highest threat for severe weather with very widespread likelihood of severe thunderstorms. And then the level 1, which is blanketing our area, the majority of it, especially to the south, that has just the isolated risk for a few strong to severe thunderstorms with the current forecast for the atmospheric setup. Again, this is conditional. We could see this jump to a level 2 tomorrow morning if the forecast does change to see a thinning of that cloud deck and more sunshine, or a slower arrival of the front indicating it getting here right in the peak of daytime heating. So we'll have to watch that carefully, but right now at level 1. Now let's go through the various threats: the tornado threat, the damaging wind threat, and the hail threat. So we'll start off with the tornado threat. And notice for Friday, there is 0 threat for tornadoes from this particular forecast. As we know, you can never completely rule out the threat of a tornado. All you need is the storm to interact with a very conducive mid-level flow of winds to get it to spin and potentially put down a funnel cloud or tornado. So I would never say it's 0, but it's definitely less than 2%. So it's very, very low. And on our hazard threat, it's probably on the lowest part for us here. Now, in terms of the gusty wind threat, you see that does clip the area that's under the level 1 for a 5% chance of any storm within a particular area of achieving severe thunderstorm wind gusts, which would be 55 to 60 miles per hour. So that does encompass a good chunk of our area. And the threat for some large hail, we're talking inch diameter, so quarter size hail or larger, that threat also stands at 5%. So our threat overall, level 1, and our threats for gusty winds and large hail are also on the lower end. But again, I'm just going to say this over and over again, it's all conditional. We see the atmosphere open up a little bit more with more sunshine. We could see this jump a little bit as we get into tomorrow. And we'll see that update with the Storm Prediction Center's Day 1 outlook. That will include us at their next update later on tonight. So here's a look at our breakdown for our what we think our severe threats are. The damaging winds and hail, low chances there. The tornado threat, again, can never be 0. But it's even lower than the wind and hail threats. And then street flooding. Again, this system looks to be very progressive, so I don't expect these storms to sit and drop a lot of rain over a short amount of time. We're talking anywhere from a ½ inch, maybe up to an inch in terms of overall rainfall from the system as it blows on through here later on tomorrow. Now, let's talk about tomorrow and the timing of the rain. So I do think there is a chance for an isolated shower pre-dawn tomorrow morning, and then right up to around sunrise or so. You see that chance there at 10 to 20%. We get a little bit of a break. Notice the forecast here calls for mainly cloudy skies. Essentially, that would put a cap on strong to severe thunderstorm development if that holds. All we need is an hour or two of some partial sunshine to get on through with the high dew points we'll have in place. The favorable upper level winds, we could easily see a transition to a stronger storm threat tomorrow if that does happen. But if not, we're looking at the storm threat to be mainly low, or a strong storm to be mainly low. And notice rain chances really tick up after lunchtime. We have that window from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. and at the highest right around that evening commute. So we talk about the impacts all the time here. We're the weather impact team. And the impacts tomorrow may be on your evening commute on the way home for some low visibilities in terms of the heavy rainfall and, of course, the gusty winds that could be associated with that as well. All right, let's jump on through Futurecast, okay? This is going to be the high-resolution in-house model here that'll kind of show us the timeline that you just saw there, but on the map. So here we are this evening. Again, no issues. I'll play it right on through, say, 2, 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. There is the chance pre-dawn along the I-64 corridor. We see a few downpours that are residual from this evening's strong storms well to the west that may make it still holding together with some heavy rain pushing into our area, parts of our area, late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Just a select few of us that could see that. We'll jump ahead to sunrise Friday morning, just ahead of 7 o'clock. And we've got mainly cloudy, maybe partly sunny skies at that point. A few showers out near Roanoke Rapids along the I-95 corridor south of Emporia. We see a few showers there let me go back here and show you. There's the chance of a few morning showers here. Again, tomorrow also, I said it was conditional. Any rain that we see in the morning hours will just work to stabilize the atmosphere. Whatever does develop, it's going to actually rob some of the energy from storms later in the day. So if we see a few showers here mid-morning, that could be a good sign for us in terms of our storm threat later in the day. Lunchtime tomorrow, still looking okay. But notice, I'm going to draw it in here, what's happening here down around. Oh, that's a thick line. Let's change that up here. Right around through here, we're starting to see the cloud deck thin out a little bit. And that could lead to the higher chances farther south and west of some stronger storms tomorrow afternoon. With at lunchtime already starting to see sunshine there. That'll really add some instability to those particular areas as we approach mid-afternoon. So here we are at 3 o'clock. Here is our cold front. We'll draw it on here so you can see it a little bit better. Pretty much way out here, moving through Richmond along the I-85 corridor at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Notice the front is beginning to interact with the modestly unstable air mass. We've got the high dew points, a lot of moisture content out there, maybe some partial sunshine helping add some lift, and overall temperatures will be in the upper 70s again. So modestly unstable. We're starting to see storms flare up along this boundary as it pushes in by mid-afternoon. So we're right around peak daytime heating as well. Let's fast forward to 5 o'clock. We've got a fragmented line of thunderstorms here, a few of which certainly have the capability of being on the stronger side. Gusty winds, extremely heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, that sort of thing there. And even potentially some small hail up to quarter size could be a possibility right around the evening commute on Friday. So that would be your highest impact if you're out there on the roadways Friday evening on your way home from work or school. But I mentioned it's very progressive, right? Let's fast forward to just a couple hours later, 8 o'clock. And we're done with the whole system. It is well east and offshore. And if I turn on the winds, you'll see actually the winds are coming in. Let me just draw it in here. Coming in pretty much out of the north and west at this point. So that is quickly eroding the cloud deck. It's transporting in drier air that's lowering our dew points. And we're going to turn very stable very fast. And we'll also start to see our temperatures come down quite fast, too, after this front clears later on in the evening. Jumping ahead, overnight Friday and early Saturday morning, we've got crystal clear skies, and actually temperatures in a few spots could be down into the 40s. So it's really just that time frame, especially if you're in south side, northeastern North Carolina. You're looking at 3 to 5 p.m., and then by 7 p.m., I think you're looking good. And northeast North Carolina should wrap everything up by 8 o'clock. So Friday evening plans on the way out the door. You may need the umbrellas. Maybe even take along the jacket in the car, because if you're heading out and staying out a little bit late Friday evening, it's going to turn pretty chilly. It's also going to be blustery with those winds coming in out of the north and west, and that'll lower the temperatures during that time as well. So here's another look at those rain chances for tomorrow to plan out your day. We've got a low chance for a shower or two early on. A mainly cloudy to perhaps partly sunny afternoon. Better chance of sunshine southwest. So that'll increase the storm severity or strength farther southwest of here. And then really ramping up after lunchtime through mid to late afternoon, and then most of which will be gone by sunset tomorrow evening. So it's a progressive system. That's a good thing, and that'll usher in much better weather for us as we get into the day on Saturday. Check this out. The weekend overall, Mother's Day weekend, couldn't ask for better weather here. We've got 73 on Saturday. Normal high 76, so we're going to be a little bit below average for the first time in a while. Coming off a morning low, Norfolk 54, but I think we'll see some 40s on the board Saturday morning, especially west closer to I-95. It'll be a sunny day. It'll be a breezy day, and also much more comfortable with dew points falling into the 40s. So great day to be outside. Sunday, too, 77, a little milder, more seasonable. Where sunny, we'll lose the breeze, but I do expect there to be at least some high-level clouds coming in here, streaming in late Sunday, and that'll be the precursor to our unsettled weather that returns for next week. So our rain chances will really start to go up. But I want to kind of give you a glimpse of mid-month, because once we get past this stretch of unsettled weather, pretty much from Tuesday right on through, let's say, like Wednesday or Thursday, we've increased rain chances. After that, models are really leaning towards a very warm setup for not only us here in the Mid-Atlantic and Southeast Virginia, Hampton Roads, Northeast North Carolina, but pretty much the entire eastern part of the country looking at well above normal temperatures. Now, what does that translate for us here locally? Well, look at our 10-day temperature trend. We dip a little bit. Coolest weather we'll find will be on Saturday in the low 70s. After that, we're stair-stepping our way up to above normal. By midweek, even though we'll have rain chances, we'll be in the low 80s, then mid-80s. And then by next weekend, higher than likely odds that we're going to get up to 90 degrees again and see our third 90-degree day so far this season. So prepare for that. We could have some beach weather in here by next weekend across a good chunk of the area. So that's something to look forward to. I want to share with you finally the 7-day forecast. Nice weekend. I don't expect any issues with our weekend weather. If you've got plans to take mom out for brunch, dinner, doing anything outdoors, you're okay this weekend. It's just a storm risk tomorrow between 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. Again, walk outside tomorrow, and if you see some sunshine, just know that that'll increase our chances for some strong to severe storms later on in the day. So it's a conditional threat. That's like the 17th time I've said it, I know. But that's what we're looking at for tomorrow. And then after that, our next rain chances go up late Monday into the day on Tuesday, lasting through Wednesday and Thursday. Bit of an unsettled stretch there, but we'll recoup some of the rain, that we need. And then that'll move on out of here. And as you saw, things get much warmer as we head on into the later part of the week and into next weekend. So that's all I've got for you today, folks. I really appreciate you joining us here on 13 News Now Plus for a little bit of an extended forecast, a look at what we're looking at in terms of how things may play out and evolve for tomorrow. Make sure you stay tuned. We're on 13 News Now at 11, coming up at 11. And then we've got Hunter Forrest in for Craig Moeller tomorrow morning on Daybreak. And remember, right here on our streaming platform, we have an extended Daybreak from 7 to 9 a.m. that's streaming only. So we'll have extended coverage of that. Hunter will have an updated forecast, of course. And by that point, if we do jump to a level 2 threat, we will likely initiate a weather impact alert day if that does happen tomorrow with the SPC Outlook up to a level 2 or not. So we'll watch this tomorrow. Myself and Taylor Stephenson will be in here tomorrow evening for you, tracking these storms if, in fact, they do develop and become strong or severe. And, of course, we enjoy having you for 13 News Now Plus, and we'll see you again at 11 on the TV side.